I've got the official Oxford English Dictionary, and it says FOMO: anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening, often aroused by posts on social media. I'll be totally honest with you, this is not the official copy of the Oxford Dictionary. So what has FOMO got to do with, or the fear of missing out, what's that got to do with fitness? How is this helpful, and what's it got to do with health? With the advent of social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that sort of stuff, we're very inspired by things that we see, especially things that we sort of like really enjoy doing. So things that we're passionate about. If we see other people like us doing things like that, then we also kind of want a slice of the pie, really. And that is in the same way as the fear of missing out. I know the whole FOMO thing is around sort of seeing events, seeing parties and things, but actually, in the same strain, seeing someone doing something that you enjoy makes you want to be part of that too. So for that reason, the whole FOMO thing and seeing people do exciting things that we like, it actually makes us want to do it too. So for me, there's a handful of things that I like. I really enjoy mountain biking. I love mountain biking. I really, really like it. I love getting out on the hills. So when I sit and I'm there sort of like watching YouTube, and I'm watching Richie Rude do his thing, I'd love to do that. And I see local enduro events and I look at them or watch them and think, oh my God, I really want to be part of that. In order for me to be part of that, I need to ride more, I need to get on my mountain bike more, I need to be doing this more. Likewise, I see people going out to the Lake District, these beautiful places in Europe and across the world, and really seeking adventure. And then again, really want to do that. I want to be part of it. I want to go and see and be part of an amazing things. And you can just go and do these things. I also love climbing. I really, really enjoy climbing. I love bouldering. I'd love to be doing it outdoors. I'd love to get on the ropes. I'd love to really get outside and do it, especially go and see the world. I love jiu-jitsu. I'm scrolling Instagram, watching Flow Grappling all the time, and I'm there, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then you have all the shiny stuff on Instagram. You have people with like the shiniest of skin, the whitest of teeth, the muscles on top of the muscles, and they're just doing the whole fitness thing, and they look great, and they should. The fitness models, they do look great, and you think, oh my God, like I just need to go to the gym, I need to look like that too. That you had the hustlers where they're just driving around in the fancy cars, living in the big houses, and all that sort of stuff, and they're saying if you're not up at 4:30 a.m. hustling, getting to it, having a side hustle, and all that sort of stuff, then you aren't doing enough. Now, the reality is we can be inspired by all of these things, and they will make us feel like we need to be part of all of it. Because it's exciting, we want to be part of that too. And what happens is we see all these things and we really want to be part of it. But because we can't do it to this impossibly high standard that we've set ourselves, we actually end up doing none of it. We actually end up not doing any of it at all. Or better still, what we actually end up doing is buying all the stuff. We'll buy the camera, we'll buy the mountain bike, we'll buy all the outdoor gear, we'll buy all the things, and we'll go, this time's going to be different. We're going to get involved with it. They're going to do this and we're going to do that, in the hope that we're going to be motivated to actually do these things. But the reality is there's only 24 hours in a day. And somewhere along those lines, unless you're lucky enough to be able to make a profession out of all of the things that I've just said, you've got to be able to somewhere have a job as well. And you've also got to be able to pay the bills, put food on the table, put a roof over your head, put clothes on your back. And all of a sudden, all these things that we're inspired by actually become barriers. We won't go to the gym because we aren't going to be able to do the perfect workout, the perfect time with the perfect diet. So we'll go, oh, forget it, we'll do it next time. But next time will be different. Likewise, I know I'm feeling guilty of this. I will kind of look at a ride and go, I've not been riding enough to do that. So I'll ride more, then I'll be good enough to do this. Or I need to make some time to take some photos. I'll be in an amazing place and I'll take my camera with me and I want to go and do some amazing pictures. But again, sort of like something that this perfectionism is going to get in the way. So when we've invested in these things that we like to do, we've bought the camera, we've got the mountain bike, we've done these things, we've invested in these things. Where the FOMO comes in, the fear is actually in letting go of something we've identified with. So you've bought your camera and you go like, oh, I want to get into photography, or you've bought all the gym gear and you want to go to the gym. Maybe you bought some new running trainers or mountain bike or road bike or whatever it is that you've bought. You've invested into this, and you've invested into this in the hope that you're going to achieve whatever it is that you've been inspired by through Instagram. And the fear is that is quite sad to us. But that means we've let ourselves down in some sort of way, and we've probably told our friends, might have told our family, might have told our partner, and go like, hey, I've bought this camera, I'm gonna do some pictures, and then you've got to go back and be like, have you used your camera? No. Have you been to the gym? No. Have you used your mountain bike? Oh, not as much as I should have done. And all these things, and it's that fear that is actually holding us back from actually progressing and actually moving forward and just enjoying the experience and enjoying the moment, enjoying going to the gym, enjoying getting out on the bike, and enjoying using your camera and getting out into the great outdoors. The problem is we've set ourselves up to be the best of everything to everyone all of the time. And the reality is we can't be everything to everyone all the time. So what do we do about it? So first of all, we need to accept we can't do it all. And that's a really hard pill to swallow. And the reality is we are going to miss out, and that's okay. That's nothing to be afraid of. And yes, your identity might get a little bit damaged along the way, and someone might say to you like, "Oh well, you've given that up again." And but again, that's okay. But that's part and parcel of it, and you have to let some of these things go sometimes. And the reality is we have to be a bit selective about where we put our energy. So for me, my main priorities are running my gym and BJJ. My training supports jiu-jitsu, but I don't train specifically for jiu-jitsu. I basically want to compete at the highest level I possibly can, whatever that is, whether that's regional. I plan to go to the Europeans. But I'm not going to go out of my way and only train specifically for jiu-jitsu. I'm going to train for general fitness right across the board, because the reality is I love mountain biking. I love getting out in the hills. I also love jiu-jitsu. But I'm not going to sacrifice any of it for any one of those. No, I'm not going to be the best in the world. I'm definitely not. I know I'm not. I'm never going to compete I'm never going to compete on my mountain bike. I will compete in jiu-jitsu, and I'm never going to be a great explorer. But it doesn't stop me being those things. But I've got to let go of the idea that I'm going to be magnificent at these things. But the beauty of it is now I've kind of stopped trying to be the best or holding myself up to this impossible standard. I can just kind of get on with enjoying it again. I can get on with just going like, hey, I'm just going to go. I'm fit enough to get on my bike and go for a ride with my mates. Like, no, I'm not going to be smashing the tabletops, and no, I'm not going to be jumping for like doing the most technical downhills, but it's enough for me to enjoy myself and have fun. And the same for photography. Like for a while ago, I was really determined to sort of like really make it like really do some really take my camera out and do some try and do the best I could, really. But the amount of time I would have had to invest in order to be good, that means I would have had to sacrifice something to do with gym, maybe some jiu-jitsu, take my mountain bike, and there just simply wasn't enough time, so something had to go, and photography was it. The reality is I've got a phone. You've got your phone, and these cameras are good now. So when I go out on my mountain bike and I go out walking, I take some pictures, and yes, alright, they're not going to be as good as what I can take my DSLR, but I'm still taking pictures, and that is the point. I enjoy photography, take pictures with what I've got. No, I'm not going to be the best mountain biker in the world, but I'm good enough to go out with my mates, and that's what really matters. So basically what this comes down to, a little bit of an alignment of values. So for example, if you have a family and you work, then that's always going to be a priority. So going and trying to be some fitness model whilst you're doing that may or may not be the right idea for you. If you want to do that, then that's great. But you can't provide for your family, be a fitness model, be a mountain biker, do all these million different things to the best of your ability. Something's going to give. So you've got to be quite picky about what it is and what you want to do. And then you've got to ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice? And then once you've realized you need to sacrifice some things or shove it down the priority order, shove it down the priority list, then you can be sad about it, because it is a sad thing, because it's like maybe you can really be passionate about doing all different types of things, but you might really struggle to do it all, and you have to be honest about it. So I have clients that they come to me and they started out wanting to be really, really fit, really super healthy, and they had this idea of doing like, running loads of times per week, doing loads of weight sessions and blah blah blah. But they've got a family, they've got kids to look after and stuff, and at the end of the day, they were like, actually, they kind of got to a point where actually they thought, you know what, I really want to spend time at home with my family and watch them grow up, and like if I can do a couple of runs and 2 weight sessions, like that's more than enough, and they're okay with that, and they have to work hard with that. And yes, alright, they're not going to be as ripped as they thought they were going to be, and yes, they're probably not going to be as aerobically fit as they're going to be, and maybe they can't run that 10k in the PB that they thought they were going to, but the reality is they've let go of that, but they are running and they are doing something that's positive for them, and that's enough. So basically what I'm saying is, stop trying to be amazing at absolutely everything. focus on just a few things and then just enjoy it. Enjoy the process, because that's actually part of it. Holding yourself up to these impossible standards and trying to do everything is kind of you're going to be ruining the fun. Don't be afraid of dropping a few things, picking up the priority of the things that you really want to do, that's going to impact you the most and bring you the most joy. Accept the fact we can't be everywhere for everyone all of the time. We just can't. We just simply isn't enough time. So then you need to ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice? And then you need to be sad about it, accept it, and then just move on. And when I say be sad about it, you might be thinking that's a bit of a weird thing to say, but it's true. Because sometimes when you feel like you need to let someone down, you need to be able to say, no, I can't do this because my priority is this right now. That's a sad thing, and you're going to have to miss out on things. And that is the fear of missing out. You've got to be willing to say no. And say, I can't do this, or accept, or be willing to admit to yourself that you can't do something. And that is a sad thing. So what you need to do is be sad about it, go through the grieving process as quickly as humanly possible, get to acceptance, and then just move on. And really just focus on the things that you really want to do and enjoy the rest. That doesn't mean you have to stop doing everything else. It just means that you're focusing on the things that are of real priority and just enjoy the process of everything else. You don't have to be amazing at everything all of the time. The internet is just full of lies. Instagram, Facebook, everyone's just projecting this image of themselves. They've got stories and videos and images backed up of them having this most amazing time, but they could be posting pictures of what they were doing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months ago, and so you can't believe everything that you see. Okay? Anyway, that's how fear of missing out affects your health and affects your fitness. And like I say, accept the fact we can't be there for everyone, for everybody all of the time. Decide what you're willing to sacrifice. Once you've sacrificed it, be sad about it and move on. Focus on a few things and enjoy the process. That's it. I'll see you next week.